All right, guys, I'm going to read you the end of And Then There Was One. Do you know who did it? You can ignore these questions at the top. Here we go. Getting to her feet, Annie kept the flashlight pointed at the shopkeeper. Good evening, Miss Selyonow. Looking surprised, Miss Selyonow froze next to the bluecoat's cage. She stammered, I just came here. To steal another animal, Annie finished for her. You think I'm the bad guy? Miss Selyonow started sobbing again. Why would I steal my own bluecoat puppies? Because you never had them, Annie said, not buying the woman's crocodile tears. The plump woman pretended to be shocked. You saw them with your own eyes. Look, there's one now. Miss Selyonow pointed at the blue furball in the cage. Annie shook her head. That isn't a blue coat, it's a mutt. You used blue dye to make the mutts look like blue coats. Then you sold the fake puppies to make some quick money. Money, Miss Selyonow cried. I don't care about money. You say that, but you're covered in gold and silver jewelry, Annie said, gesturing to the woman's rings and bracelets. Miss Selyonow didn't bother arguing. You knew if the puppies went home with Mrs. Gotrocks, she would learn the truth, Annie continued. But you wouldn't have to give the money back if the puppies were stolen first. So you hired me to make your dog napping story more believable. But you know the real story, do you? The woman said, rubbing her eyes. That's right, Annie said. The past 2 nights you came in here and took one of the phony puppies out of the bluecoat's cage and washed off the blue dye. Annie flashed her light on the sink used to bathe the animals, and then back at Ms. Selyonow. That's why I dreamed about the running water. I heard the sound from the faucet even though I was asleep. I think you're still dreaming, dear, Miss Selyonow said sarcastically. I don't have to listen to this. Before she could walk away, Annie stopped her. There's more. At some point, the bluecoat female bit off a piece of the handkerchief you used to dry the mutt. I found the cloth in her mouth, and I'd bet it would perfectly match your handkerchief. Miss Selyonow threw up her hands in disbelief. And where did I stash this squeaky clean mutt? And with the other mutts, of course, Annie answered. This morning I noticed that there were 4 mutts in the cage. But according to the sign, there should only be 3. Annie held up the paper and read, 3 mutt puppies for sale. Get them cheap. The extra mutt is the one you washed off and put in with the others last night. Suddenly, all the fake sadness drained out of Miss Selyonow's face. She looked like an angry, cornered animal ready to pounce. So what if you're right, she hissed. No one's going to believe you. I wouldn't be too sure about that, Annie said. That was when Tater stepped out of the shadows where Annie had asked him to watch and listen. I believe Annie, he said to Ms. Selyonow. We're going to call the police and you're going to give back Mrs. Gotrock's money. Ms. Selyonow seemed to realize she was caught. Oh no, she whined and slumped against the wall. She started sobbing, and for the first time Annie thought that there were real tears. Are you going to lose your job? Annie asked Tater, worried about his future. Tater smiled. Actually, this is my store. Miss Selyonow just worked here. And guess what, Miss Selyonow? He asked, popping a dog biscuit into his mouth. You're fired. Man, I didn't think Miss Selyonow was the one stealing her own puppies, did you?